Our biggest development has been at the end of last year when our members decided that Intertanko really was an independent tanker owners association and should therefore not just cover products and crude oil and chemicals, but also gas. So we changed our articles of association in November, and since then the gas fleet of our members is fully part of Intertanko, and we've started to provide services for operational support and also in particular commercial support for gas vessels in particular, both LNG and LPG. And so for us, the change has been partly in the types of service we provide, but also we have a team now that is expert in gas. We have an LNG specialist and an LPG specialist. So we've increased the marine team and the technical knowledge also in the team. And I think that is it's a great development. It's a lot of new energy, a lot of new focus, and we're really enjoying it at the moment. It's a developmental stage right now. We need to prove that we can do this and also prove to members that we have a value to add. In general, I think with any association, unless we prove that there is a value add, we should not provide the service. So we have 1 year until November this year to demonstrate that this is worth doing, and I hope we will. It's an interesting question again, but LNG or gas as fuel for us is a lesser problem, or it's a lesser concern, because of course our members are tanker owners, so for them it's the freight, the carriage of gas as a cargo, rather than using it as a fuel that's relevant. The pure gas vessels use their cargo to propulse the vessel anyway, and the gas as fuel issue has come for us more as a discussion about what alternatives do we have to achieve the ultra-low sulfur regulations, and what alternatives are there to the residual fuels that we're using at the moment. So eco compliance, for example, that's where gas as fuel is really an issue. In general, it's a good question to ask our technical director, who's here also, Dragos Schwelter, because he will know all the detail. But what I understand is gas as fuel requires more space. So if you use a different bunker fuel than gas, you would use less space in the tanks. Of course, there are specialized tanks because it has to be cooled. So there are operational issues why it's difficult. And of course, the engines would have to be dual or triple fuel. And a lot of that is developing now, but it's not yet common. So I think owners are probably considering it. Bunkering is an issue though, because until the bunkering network is available, and a lot of our ships are deep sea vessels, they're on spot trades, they may not know where they're going to be able to bunker next. So if the network is not established to get that fuel available, then it's not really practical. To be honest, I don't think there's any difference as to whether we are explicitly included or not in the Paris Agreement. To me, it made no difference because we have a responsibility. And in particular, my members know that that responsibility is something that as citizens of this planet, they will take very seriously. They are taking very seriously. We have, for a number of years now, looked at all the operational and technical ways of reducing emissions to the maximum. And it's irrelevant of any agreement that we have to do this. We have to be as efficient as we can. A lot of cynical people say, well, this is only because of high bunker prices, but it really isn't. It's an absolute no-brainer if you look at the responsibility, corporate social responsibility of people in today's corporate world. We have a number of listed members that are on various stock exchanges. They have a membership, and they have people that demand that from them, shareholders that demand that from them, but also the independent owners. Many of them have family businesses that have been in business for many, many years, decades, sometimes centuries. They take their responsibilities very seriously, and really it isn't about any agreements at political level. So operationally and technically, we're really at the forefront. We've been running a sister ship study to actually analyze how various methods of energy efficiency affect the actual in-use efficiency of vessels, and how we can influence that even more, how we can maximize that. There's a lot of investment that goes into trying to make the vessels as efficient as they are. It's a very young fleet, so 25% of the majority of the member vessel sizes is less than 5 years old, so very young fleet, even compared to the world average. And so they are modern vessels, and we're trying to optimize all the time. When it comes to the question of what else can we do at a political level, I think that is really, as the world implies, it is a political question. Sometimes ship owners may not be the best people to ask that question to, because we are the operations part of delivering the pledges that the politicians make. So we will work with them every step of the way, and we're trying to support the goals at a global level to make sure that we do our part. At the moment, the operational technical side is what we can do best. When it comes to other issues like taxation or emissions trading, that really is a political debate, and we probably have less of an input. But we will be part of the effort, for sure.